first recording, and All My Fathers, Life's Dream, number 27. Welcome.
Welcome. Today's a very special day. Let's go over here to Story Couch. I need this for later. Okay, so Jacqueline Dixon, who's a friend of ours on Facebook, and Jacqueline Dixon, she's been following us and being on some of the streams, maybe all of them, I don't know, but she commented and said, Corky, please talk about current events. Please talk about this. So, a couple things are current. Tomorrow is Father's Day. Even though it's tomorrow, a lot of people jump on this stream. They'll do it tomorrow. So for them, it'll be Father's Day. For us right now, there's something special. Lincoln, President Lincoln, known as the father of freedom, proclaimed that the slaves were free. This was kept from the slaves in Texas, if you can believe it, for 2.5 years. Until the army was sent in to free the Texas slaves, of all things. This is a celebration known as Juneteenth. I have been interviewing a few people because I'm going to interject in these live streams some of these personalities that I love and I want to share with you. So I talked to David Amram for a couple hours yesterday. And well, it was about an hour and a half. And I just wanted to give you a sense of what he said about current events.
If you don't know David Amram, please Google, but the BBC in London is doing an hour documentary special on all of the soundtracks, his award-winning soundtracks that he composed for movies like The Manchurian Candidate and many Academy Award-winning films. So he's quite a special human being.
Yeah, and he was the composer in residence at Leonard Bernstein at Lincoln Center for the New York Philharmonic. He played a whole bunch with Willie Nelson. He's on Steve Goodman's albums. I'm recording with him on Steve Goodman. He's like a folkie. He was best friends with Allen Ginsberg and Kerouac. I got a photo which I'll show you when we do this special on David. It's just this amazing Renaissance man. He's 90 years old in November, and he is a lightning rod. And so he basically said something like this. He said, here we are in the 21st century with all this technology. In reality, we haven't left the 17th century. Racism and lynching continue. So someone said, some beautiful, amazing, incredible person said, how many times have your poor heart suffered? The miseries of torture and pain, all just because of this poor understanding of the great gift of love that God gave to man. And then he said, you gave sight to the blind with other men's eyes. You even made submarines stay submerged for weeks. But it don't make sense. You can't make peace. So that was Willie Dixon. Someone asked Willie, what's the favorite song that you've written? Well, understand the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, even Peter, Paul, and Mary did Willie Dixon songs. So they want to know, was your favorite song Hoochie Coochie Man that you wrote? Wang Wang Doodle, Down in the Bottom, Help Me, Howlin' for My Darling, I Ain't Superstitious, I Want to Make Love to You, Seventh Son, Spoonful, 300 Pounds, Mellow Down Easy? No, those were not his favorite. His favorite were these two songs, Save My Child, and It Don't Make Sense If You Can't Make Peace. Those were his favorites. By the way, Jacqueline Dixon, who asked me to talk about current events, that's Willie Dixon's youngest daughter.
Wow.
So we're celebrating Juneteenth, and we're celebrating Father's Day in a very, very special, big way. And you could show a picture of, there's not a picture of Willie here, but here's, little Walter, James Cotton, Muddy Waters, and then there's, again, my favorite picture. This will not be the last time you see this photograph of me sitting on Howlin' Wolf's knee in 1967. Back it up so they could see me sitting on the knee. There's Jack Myers, incredible bass player, Jim Schwall, me sitting on Howlin' Wolf's knee, and Russ Chadwick. That was the Siegel Schwall Band in 1967, January. The Cafe A Go-Go backstage, and there I am with Howlin' Wolf. My father, all my fathers. Okay, so back to me. Beautiful work, Holly. It's great. Okay, so Dr. Subramaniam. I'm not going to stop talking about Dr. Subramaniam or the Blues Masters or showing that photo of me and Wolf. Dr. Subramaniam, for those that don't know, is this incredible violinist, considered one of the great violinists of our time. God of violin, he's named that in India. And he's been doing this amazing work, bringing people together in his project called Global Fusion. Dr. Subramaniam said to me, you can't change people's minds with words, but you can reach their hearts with song. And Willie, certainly, along with his incredible colleagues like Wolf and Muddy and all the blues masters, certainly have reached people's hearts, and the blues legacy has certainly changed the world in incredible ways that we could talk about actually how it brought people together and how it broke through barriers. But it did change the world, and Willie Dixon, who is Chicago blues, I mean, he wrote all these amazing songs for all these amazing people. He was the guy, the foundation of Chicago blues. So I heed the words of Dr. Subramaniam, David Amram, and my fathers, like Willie Dixon, Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, and all the great saints of the Chicago blues tradition. So, here's a song. So, Holly and I wrote this song, and I played it a few streams ago, and people wrote me and said they love that song. They love the song. What are the lyrics? And so we put it up on the website, and the performance that we did, and we put the lyrics in there. And then Holly and I started working on the song because we felt, okay, people really love this. Let's finesse it. We slightly changed the lyrics. We're working on making a video of it that should be ready in a day or two. Not a super slick video. We like things down to earth, as you can see. But when Jacqueline Dixon said, talk about current events, and Dr. Subramaniam said, you reach people's hearts with song, we decided we're going to do this song again as part of Jacqueline Dixon's request for us to speak about current events. What's interesting is the song, I'll go through the verses before I sing it. I want you to know what's going on. The first verse is certainly current events. It's about justice coming our way and not turning back. The second verse is about immigration and DACA. There's a lady named Liberty weeping on the shore, but compassion is going to come. She won't be crying anymore. That's the second verse. The third verse is about diligence. We're all hopping on the train called diligence, and it's our responsibility. Everything in the world, to some degree, is our responsibility. So diligence and taking part as a citizen and using our voices is very important. So there's that verse, and then the next verse is about equality. But equality is this almost unreachable goal, yet we should work very hard always to reach it. And so that's the fourth verse. And then the fifth one is about democracy and how our voices need to be heard. We need to speak up from the streets, on the ballot. Then there's a verse about unity and how important unity is, and we have this understanding we're all one, we're all connected, and we really want to achieve complete unity. As David Amram said, we've have this incredible technology, but we still don't have an understanding that we're one and that we're connected, and we need to do that. So that's the verse. And then the punchline is, as we challenge ourselves and work hard to fight against all the forces undermining all these good things like justice and liberty and DACA and diligence and equality and fighting for democracy so our voices can be heard, and unity, all these things, as we fight for these things and work for these things, there's one aggressive weapon that will fuel this work and will take us to the place we want to go. And that's the last verse. and there's a river of love flowing through our veins. Love will get us there as we ride all these other trains. So that's what the song is about. I hope you enjoyed that. So here we go. Here's a rendition. It comes out different every time. So that was a train thing, you know.
Gotta have a train thing.
There's a train called Justice, rolling down a track. There's a train called Justice, rolling down a track. But when you hear that whistle blowing, you know it ain't turning back. There's a lady called Liberty, she's weeping on the shore. There's a lady named Liberty, she's weeping on the shore. There's a train called Compassion, she won't be crying anymore. There's a train called Compassion, she won't be crying anymore. There's a train called Diligence, we're all getting right on board. There's a train called Diligence, we're all getting right on board. When the train reaches the station, integrity will be restored. You know what I mean, you know what I mean. There's a place called Equality, it's somewhere on a map. There's a place called Equality, it's somewhere on the map. Our GPS is badly broken, we need to load a better app. There's a train called Democracy, soaring like an eagle bird. There's a train called Democracy, soaring like an eagle bird. From the streets, on the ballot, in the mail, in the booth, our voices will be heard. There's a train called, there's a train to unity, we can't get there too soon. Oh, there's a train, unity, there's a train to unity, we can't get there too soon. It shouldn't be so hard, it's not very far, we've already made it to the moon. Like David Amram said, you know. There's a river of love flowing through our veins. Oh, there's a river of love, it's flowing through our veins. Only love will get us there as we ride those freedom trains. Only love will get us there as we ride those freedom trains. Love will get us there if we ride those freedom trains. Let me try it again one more time. Only love will, you know what I want to to sing. This is what I want to sing. Love will get us there as we ride those freedom trains. Something like that. Yay! So now it's Father's Day, and let me show you a picture right here of my sister, me, my late dad, and my mom, my late mom. And let's see, another picture of my father. Let's see if I could do this. There it is. Father's Day.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to have my sister. We'll have to introduce my sister. There's my sister. You could.
She lives in Australia.
And that's
our brother-in-law, Malcolm.
Our brother-in-law, Malcolm, who we love so much. And we did a nice long interview with these guys, my sister and my brother-in-law. And Malcolm shared some amazing stories. But we're just going to have Joy, my sister, share this story about my first recording session. And Malcolm basically is sitting there waiting to tell his story.
Which you'll hear at a later time.
You will hear at a later time. So here goes Joy. Hi, Sister Joy.
So in our house, our life was full of music. Dad worked his way through 2 years of college playing clarinet in a trad jazz band. It was called the Kishwaukee Blue Devils. It's actually a real place, Kishwaukee. And I looked it up, and they actually have marching bands. Yeah, Kishwaukee marching bands. Anyway, Dad was always singing and playing his clarinet or sometimes his C melody sax. And he was always playing radio and records. All ethnicities and all styles rang out in our house. Show tunes, pop tunes, operettas, classical, jazz, folk, even blues. Dad also wrote and sang songs about us, like the one he wrote about Corky when Corky was still a little baby, still sitting in a high chair at our table for meals. And it goes like this. I'm not a singer, so you'll find that out very soon. Corky, Corky, rip, snort, and cork, and Corky. Corky was his name. Around our house we have a little boy. He has a big sister, and her name is Joy. Corky, Corky, rip, snort, and cork, and Corky. Corky is his name. And when it's time for him to eat, he gets it on his hands and feet. Corky, Corky, Rip Snortin' Cork and Corky, Corky is his name. An old favorite. So we had our own record cutting equipment. And this was something special because no one else we knew at that time had anything like that until tape recorders were invented. So Corky's first ever recording was memorable. At about 2.5 or 3 years old, Dad tried to get him to speak into a microphone so he could cut a little record of Corky's voice and play it back to him. Well, Corky was scared of the microphone. So it was one of those big old-fashioned silver jobs that you can see in photos of radio stations and recording studios at the time. And also, you might have seen it in one of Corky and Holly's live streams where they had a big microphone in front of the piano on one of these live streams that wonderful ones that they do. Anyway, Corky was scared of the microphone. And recently I reminded Corky about this event and he remembered the microphone. He said, "It looked like a monster to me, like a Martian. And I had to be alone in the bathroom with it. And there was a big long black cord from the microphone snaking out onto the bathroom door and into the bedroom where the recording machine was." So Corky told me, "I'm still afraid of microphones." I think he might be exaggerating a little. Anyway, the recording was saved and we enjoyed it for years until sadly it was lost. It would be a collector's item today. I remember it went something like this. Dad, just say hello. Say, "My name is Corky," into the microphone, and I'll record it and play it back for you. Then you can hear your own voice on the record. Then Dad slips out of the bathroom, shuts the bathroom door so it's nice and quiet in the bathroom, and then he goes into the bedroom where he can turn on the recording machine and he calls out, "Okay, Corky, now say hello. My name is Corky." Hello? Hello? I want to hear my voice already. Don't cry. Just talk into the microphone and you'll hear your voice later after I make the recording. Just say hello. My name is Corky. Hello? Hello? I want to hear my voice already. Listen to the little boy cry. Corky, just say hello. Hello? Hello? I want to hear my voice already. Wah! Wah! Listen to the little boy cry. Wah! 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 Corky, come back. Come back, Corky. That was Corky Siegel's first recording. And I reckon that's why he plays the harmonic like he does, when he goes like this. Wah, 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 off into the distance.
Okay, we're gonna end this with a song by Willie Dixon
Of course.
and Howlin' Wolf. Together, they wrote this together. So this makes sense.
All right. Whew.
So, let's go over to Storybook Couch. Or sofa. Storybook Sofa.
Oh, okay. Storybook sofa.
It's Storybook Sofa.
It's the lounge, right?
Yes.
The club, the lounge.
So, okay, so now we're going to, first of all, I want to let you know about some things that are upcoming. I had a nice Zoom conversation with my sound technician, Ken Gores, who has been with us since 1973 on the road with Siegel Schwall. He's got some really funny stories, beautiful stories. But mostly I want you to meet this guy, Kenny. He's another
Genius.
being, celestial being, who just, and his thing is sound. The world, the sonic world. Not faders, not EQ, not microphones. Those are his pals because his love is this incredible phenomenon called sound. Ah, it's amazing. I'm so fortunate to know him. So we're going to have a little talk with him. And of course, David Amram, I told you about. And maybe Howard Levy. You know, we should have a nice little fun talk with Howard. That'd be fun. Both of us. Okay, so we're going to do that. Right now, as soon as this is over, here's what's happening. All the comments, you guys, I'm going to answer all of them, but in a couple hours, because I'm going to let you put all the comments in. In a couple hours, I'll come in and fill them in. But first, we're going to do a Zoom. And if you go to my website, corkymusic.com/stream, right up there is all the passcodes and links and everything to the Zoom conversation we're going to have just in a couple minutes. And you're all welcome. Then, once I finish all these comments in a couple, well, then I'm going to have lunch. Holly and I are going to have lunch. After lunch, maybe we'll take a walk for an hour, and then I'm going to come back and put up this live stream also on YouTube, so that later on, if people want to go back and see this on YouTube, it'll be really easy on the corkymusic.com/stream page. And then I'm just going to tell you this. I'm next week launching a crowdfunding project. Some of my friends have already found it and they're already participating in a big way in this project. But we haven't launched it yet, so that's all I'm going to tell you about it. Now, Holly and I guess we'll just sign off. We want to say Have a great Juneteenth. Have a great Father's Day. Have a great sheltering in place. I know there's conversations about masks and all this stuff. I just got some things the other day from friends of mine who are saying, here's why you shouldn't wear a mask. There is information about masks that can be finessed, and you can find better ways of using them in this and that. When Holly and I take walks, we have our mask. If there's nobody around, we pull our mask down and we enjoy the fresh air. If we see someone coming, we put the mask up. For 3 reasons. Mainly to advertise the wearing of masks and support that. Number 2, to protect the people that might be passing us by. Number 3, in a very small way, the masks protect us. But basically,
Protects others.
it protects others. And I'll tell you Tracy Nelson's story, but I won't. Tracy Nelson's a tough lady. She's brilliant. She's beautiful. And she's played with Chamber Blues a couple times. And we toured with her with the Chicago Blues reunion with Harvey Mandel, who played with the Rolling Stones, and Nick Revenitis, who had the Electric Flag with Mike Bloomfield. So we were on tour a lot with this group. And Tracy wasn't going to put up with anything. She's a tough lady, I'll tell you. It was beautiful.
With the tour bus and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. So she told us about a week ago that she was in the grocery store and she was wearing a mask. And she lives in Tennessee, about an hour or 20 minutes from Nashville, I think, and on sort of a farmland. And she goes into this grocery store, and this guy starts yelling at her because she's got a mask on. And he goes, "Why are you wearing a mask?" In some derogatory language.
Yeah.
And she took her mask off and went right into his face. "To protect you, ya da 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 da." And then she thought, I love being a jerk. I love it.
She's not really, but
No. But
she doesn't let anyone intimidate.
She is a beautiful
being.
character who has
So
the most beautiful heart. So anyway, no, let's not do this.
well, in case they would like to
let's
know.
not talk about the CDs.
Okay, well, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say that this one, it has Helen for my Helen for my.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it.
But I will tell you, this, I have to tell you, it's not noted on this reissue. But Vanguard, when they were doing the box set for Siegel Schwall of all the early material on Vanguard, I sent them a tape of Jim and I recording the 2-man band when I had drums under the piano, and drums, and I had a hi-hat, a bass drum, and I played the harmonica, and then I pick up the stick and hit the hi-hat. And so I sent them the whole tape of the 2-man band. That was before Siegel Schwall. And they put on some of the tunes, and one of them was Howlin' for My Darling. It was done just after hearing the Howlin' Wolf record, falling in love, and just from memory sort of doing what I thought they were doing a little bit on the record. So this is an unreleased pre-recording before Siegel Schwall, Howlin' for My Darling. And there's also a couple other things on here, I believe, yes, that were pre-Siegel Schwall recordings of Jim and I playing in the 2-man band, where we got our gig at Peppers because of that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to tell you for now.
So we can't not mention the great Sam Lay.
Oh, yeah.
Sam is on
One of my fathers.
This one. He's certainly a family member. And Sam says that his rendition of Mojo, he feels this is his favorite rendition that he's recorded, which is really quite a compliment. And also, we give a shout out to Sam and Michael.
Sam's son, Michael, is on these streams a lot, and he's always saying hello. So hi, Michael, and we love you, and that's it. We love everybody. Everyone loves us.
We hope.
There's a river of love flowing through our veins, man. And we're made of love.
We'll end on that, and we'll say Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
And we'll see you on the Zoom.
Happy Juneteenth.
And if not, we'll see you Tuesday.
Love you all.